Hello, welcome back to another episode of the Sharpshooters. I am Danny, as usual, one of your hosts, and I'm joined by Juicebox, who is self-scissoring. I don't know why he didn't just ask me. I would have scissored. That would have been fine. There we go. Obvious by his absence is our third host, Matt. He is getting ready for his honeymoon, so he will not be here for a few weeks. Thank you very much. Britt Baker, DMD. Anyway, we're not there yet.
Oh, okay.
They said me.
Oh, okay.
It's all right.
They thought I was Danny.
What?
Common mistake.
It looks about the same. So, Matt will not be here for a few weeks. We were obviously also not here for the last 2 weeks. I was away in Ireland doing some personal business myself, and Matt was getting ready for his wedding. So John was great enough to go on Fight Forever and be, I believe, the top stream of Fight Forever 2 weeks in a row.
Number one AEW Fight Forever stream on Twitch. 2 weeks running. Undefeated. Come at me. Twitch. All you.
Twitch.
Seriously, though. No one was playing.
That was dope.
I had the most views.
That was
me.
dope.
Just me. None of you.
Smart man.
Nah, appreciate the help and support, though. Hulk Hogan came on.
I heard.
I hung out with him. That was cool. It got a little weird by the end of it, though.
I'm hoping the next time we have a guest, it'll actually be like...
In the studio?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we did once, and you guys didn't really give Roman a warm welcome. But we'll work on it. We'll get another guest in the studio soon. No worries.
All right, well, tonight we have a full card for you with our episode, I believe, 4, technically, of the Twitch cast. But then, what, 6 overall?
I mean,
7
no,
overall?
we're probably at 7 now.
Oof.
I think, because we did the SummerSlam show.
Oh, that's right.
So we're probably at 7. I was thinking about that today, too.
We're churning them out, baby. There we go.
I didn't research it.
This is how we're doing it.
Brother, what's up, Keverlast?
How's everything going?
Welcome to the
Oh,
chat.
he did the brother for Hulk Hogan, I'm sure.
Well, yeah. Well, he was there last week. You saw it all go down. It was weird. Did you? I mean, if anyone didn't listen, it wasn't around last week. Check out our stream. It's on YouTube right now. Otherwise, just a quick recap for you. He offered me a role in the next Rocky movie with Sylvester Stallone, and he also invited me to move with him to Minnesota. He wanted to marry me and buy me a ring. It got really weird in chat, but it happened. Don't give me that look. I wasn't me. This is the Hulkster himself. He's going through a weird time. He's had like 5 or 6 different, relationships. So
Someone's saying he's the best technical wrestler of all time, I think.
Killer Tom Otto 78.
I think this guy's
might have a Greg Sheehan bottom on hand. We'll see. All right, well, maybe we'll do a best technical wrestler of all time.
He will not be in that.
He might seed. Who knows?
Stop it.
Maybe a wild card will get him in. Arquette got in last time, so who knows?
Not happy about this. Moving on to tonight's card. We have a full card for you tonight. As we advertise, we have a best and worst weddings in honor of Matt getting married, and also in honor of myself and our producer getting a little engaged this past, last week? Almost a week ago. That's crazy.
And also, there you go. There he is. So get some W's in the chat for Danny and our producer getting engaged, for Matt and Gangrel getting married. And also get some W's in the chat for me, because everyone's got these big live events going on. So ladies, what up? Hit me up. Get me on the list.
We need to get him. We need a third.
I'm due.
There we go. So we got best and worst weddings. We're going to try a new segment tonight with 5 questions, and we'll talk about that more later. And then, of course, we have our all-in predictions for the biggest, I think, wrestling show ever in London, and it's going to be really exciting. I'm really hyped for All In. I can't wait to watch it. But first, as always, we will start with our trivia question. And tonight might be an easy one. I've been on vacation. I got a little lazy with it. I'm not going to lie.
No.
But in honor of the weddings talk we had with all the research we were doing, I noticed a name come up over and over and over again. And Stephanie McMahon really likes to try to get married on WWE TV. It's actually pretty wild. So nice, simple trivia question for you. How many ceremonies has Stephanie McMahon been a part of?
Been a part of, like she's just been there, or she's actually been like
No,
bride?
she was the
bride in the segment.
Yes.
So
keep in mind.
Yep.
Okay.
Depending how technical you're getting.
Technical ceremonies, not weddings.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I get it. Okay. Depending on how technical you're getting here, my answer is going to be 4.
That is correct.
It's going to be Mrs. Melting Pat said 3, Killer Tomato said 3. So I said 3.
Ooh.
Can I give the answers or do you want to
No, go ahead.
So
You earned it.
Stephanie and Taker, Stephanie and Test, which turned into Stephanie and Triple H, and then a few years later they had their recommitment ceremony again with Triple H,
which is hilarious.
Where Triple H called her out on her bullshit.
I believe she faked being pregnant, and then Triple H said, "Nah, we're done."
Yep. So
and then they never got divorced. It was
crazy.
It was
Taker, Test, and Triple H twice.
Yes.
There you go. All right.
Very nice. Good guesses though. Three was what I was hoping he would say, but he didn't fall for it. No, but that was really interesting. She's like the only one who appears more than once, I think.
That doesn't say anything about Vince at all.
I don't understand. Thank God, didn't he also want to do a segment where he almost married her? Like that was rumored for a while, and then they, thank God, a lot of people said no to that. So
let's see. Dragon Suplex says I was half expecting to learn the Authority era included some weird non-marriage ceremony uniting her and Triple H as suit bosses. Suit bosses?
Well, they were both in suits, I guess.
Oh, I guess, okay. Maybe I'm overthinking what that means. Either way, I get you, though. Yeah, I mean, who knows? Maybe they'll do another Triple H Stephanie wedding again one day, just in case we weren't sure. But, yeah.
I'm going to predict that Stephanie pulls, like, her dad and leaves him and tries to marry someone younger. So no Triple H.
Well, I'd like to think we're well past that. I would say
5 times.
I would say it's not past Triple H to one day get one of his kids involved though, in a wedding ceremony, but that's for another time. I digress.
Just as long as it's not to each other, that's fine by me. All right. So moving on to one of our first advertised segments for tonight, we're going to start off with best and worst weddings. Now, I originally wanted to review Matt's wedding, but I think I was told that might be a little too much, and we still want Matt to come back.
Oh, so. I was just kidding. You want to review?
No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
We can review it.
I'm kidding. No, it was a great wedding. Matt had a great time. You and your bride looked beautiful. Not really much more I'm going to say about that.
I would give the wedding.
Give it a rating.
Let me see. You know, I'm going to give it a 4. The only reason I'm not giving it the full 5-star rating is the priest yelling at the cameraman mid ceremony to stand back and get out of the shot or get out of the way like he told him to. Clearly there was some heat there between the two of them. I think we need a rematch between the priest and the cameraman down the line. I can get with Matt and we can book that at a later date.
I think we also need a story. I need to know how that really.
Yeah, something was going on there.
So it wasn't just that one incident. Something happened before that one incident.
Okay, you know what? The 4.5. I'm not going to bump a whole star off. We'll bump a half-star rating off for that was out of Matt's control as far as I know. But
he got right back on track.
Yeah, he stuck with it. Couldn't really make out what he was saying, but either way, best glow sticks ever. Glow sticks are dope.
I agree. Those glow sticks were dope. I think I still have one in the house somewhere, but I'm not going to go find it.
Yeah. And then we had, I heard someone had to pee during that ceremony. Yeah, that was true. You know, you can never predict what's going to happen with these wrestling ceremonies. You know, anything can happen. So I think that's a good time to get into our best and worst.
It's definitely a good time to get into best and worst.
As we do talk about it, by all means, you in the chat, any wrestling wedding ceremony that you've seen growing up in the past, hit us up in the chat. Let us know which ones you liked, which ones you didn't like. Could be WWE, AEW, Impact. Any wrestling company that's done them, it could be obscure. Let us know. Talk about it in the chat, and we'll definitely we'll interact with it here.
Yeah, I think in the research I only saw like 11 overall or something, and most of them I had seen. It was the first 2, which were like back before the Miss Elizabeth Randy Savage wedding. That was the first one I saw. But before those, there were 2 that I didn't see, and there was one recently I think on Impact. Maybe I don't remember.
We'll get to all of it.
So obviously, if I didn't see them, I didn't really talk about them personally. But
so now, did you do yours in order? Do you want to do best and worst first? We can just alternate since it's just you and me.
Let's alternate. So we'll do one best, one worst.
Best, one worst. Okay.
Well, no. We'll do a few, right?
Sure.
Yeah, I got like 3.
Yeah. Oh, I have a bunch.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I'm actually interested. Besides the most obvious one, I'm interested to see like what we agree on, don't agree on. Yeah. So let's start off with the most obvious one. The best wedding, I think, ever in WWF/WWE history. Randy Savage and Miss Elizabeth. I mean, even as a kid, what was that, like 1992?
Yeah. No, that was like 90,
right.
91. Yeah, maybe even 89.
Right?
92 was at Wembley.
So
So
I didn't even see it
before
live because I was definitely like a baby. But when I eventually did see it and all my like wrestling research and all the videos I had to watch and stuff like that, I even cried. And I was like a young kid. I was like 8 or 9, and I cried. Like maybe I knew I was gay then. I have no idea.
Oh, you
But
cried for Macho?
I cried for that wedding. That was beautiful.
Oh, the wedding. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh my
the
God.
wedding was beautiful.
Well, all right. Well, I didn't know if you like what your reasons were for it. It's beautiful. Okay. Well, that's cool. Yeah, no, I mean, I have Macho and Miss Elizabeth on mine too. I just saw the segment for the first time a few weeks ago with my SummerSlam rewatch. Um, it was simple. It was simple. No crazy hijinks. It did what it was gonna do, and people like cared about it. They were like this was like them legit attending a wedding. They
Yeah.
felt like some of these fans felt like. So yeah, that one's on my top 3 as well.
Yeah,
I think you have
and
to put it there. Makes sense.
one of the few that actually, like you said, just didn't even get hijinks. Like nothing bad happened. Just they let the wedding actually happen. So that was good.
Now, sometimes hijinks can be good. We'll get to that later. But
All right.
yeah.
My worst. I don't know if I ordered them, but one of my worst. Al Wilson and Don Marie. For those of you that don't remember, that was a SmackDown storyline where Don Marie and Tori Wilson were kind of feuding, kind of not. It was like a weird kind of like frenemy shit they were having. But
that wasn't frenemy. She was trying to seduce her in a hotel. She, like,
was that what it was?
Like stripped her down.
So she couldn't get her, so she went for the dad.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
She wanted
that
both.
makes it even
She
worse.
wanted both of them. It was 03, man. WWE won. Like all hands were all.
I
like,
forgot about that.
Yeah.
I thought they were like in a weird feud, and that's why she went after the dad. But yeah, so she went after Tori Wilson's like what at the time like 60 or 70-year-old dad, like old, very old man, and he wound up dying like 2 months into the wedding, having a heart attack. It was the most like ridiculous.
Well, no. So they got married. First off, she made him get married in his underwear, his tidy whities.
Yes.
So
that was so strange.
He wore his tidy whities for the
like
ceremony,
I watched all this live.
did his vows and everything.
I forgot it.
They got married, went on the honeymoon, had so much sex on the honeymoon. That's where he had the heart attack, and then that was it. They wrote it off. He just had
I thought they at least had like a month or two of like being
Nope.
married on TV and stuff.
No,
That was all the build up to the wedding.
They went on the
Jesus
honeymoon, and he had the heart
Christ.
attack and died, and that was it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Yep.
Even worse than I thought. I'm glad I said that first. That was awful.
That was a rough one.
Is that in your worst?
It's in there. I mean, it's among there. I had it in my top 3. I do have some other backups just in case.
No.
but-
What's your next worst? We'll snake draft this.
So all right. I'm just gonna start with my number 1. Teddy Long and Crystal Marshall was awful. SmackDown 2007.
That was another SmackDown one.
Yeah, SmackDown 2007.
That's
Teddy
hilarious.
Long and Crystal Marshall getting married. I can't even lie to you and tell you what the buildup was to this because, again, this was 07. Around this time, I wasn't watching anymore. I think I stopped in 05, came back in 08. So I don't even know what this full story was, but I've seen this segment and, like, it was a clown show. No one got over. It did nothing for anybody. Like, the Godfather came out with his hose and everybody just left with the Godfather. Like, all the guests were like, all right, peace, we're leaving with the hose. Hornswoggle ran out and like the coachman was like feuding with him at that point or something, or coachman was like running after him like under Crystal's dress and shit, and then like they go and you finally get to the end and they're doing the I do's, and hey, guess what? Common theme: Teddy Long right before he says I do has a fucking heart attack, and then he goes into a coma. So he has the heart attack, goes into a coma, and then like either weeks or months later. They fire Crystal Marshall.
Forgot about all
so then she's fired. So now there's no follow-up. No follow-up with this. That was just the end of it. I don't know how long Teddy stayed in a coma. How they woke him up. If it was Taker. I just assume it was Taker on SmackDown during that time. But yeah,
Oh my
Keverlast throwing us with a woof. I vaguely remember it.
Not gonna lie, I don't remember it to the
Yeah.
point where like I saw it on the rankings and I was struggling because 2007 I'm pretty sure I was starting to like go full TNA at that point. Like I was really hating WWE,
Yeah.
and I was struggling to even like think of it. And then you just reminded me of all that. Was horrifying how I
Terrible.
blanked that out of my memory. That was terrible.
Terrible. So yeah.
I'm so bad.
As for another best that I can list, so the one I want to talk about in particular is it's probably honestly it's probably my number one, even though I didn't really put them in order
I'm
here.
interested.
Chuck and Billy.
Yes.
I loved that segment, that whole story with Chuck and Billy.
Hilarious.
It was so good. It was from 2000, I believe 2003 as well, or maybe later.
I think so. I'll look.
Hold on. No, I got it here. It's 05, 02.
Oh, okay.
02. We got You Look
So
Good to Me. There it is.
Yeah. That was such a good one.
So for those of you that don't know, Chuck and Billy back in 2002, this was Billy Gunn and Chuck Palumbo, ended up as gay lovers in a tag team together.
Allegedly.
Oh, well, we're getting there. We're telling a story.
From the beginning, it was allegedly.
We're telling a story to our friends. So, LOL, my husband said Billy and Chuck as soon as he heard wrestling wedding. Yeah, it's so good. It's so entertaining. And
literally, it's
what it does,
right after Randy Savage and
like,
Elizabeth. That's the first one I think of.
Like, so they go through the whole ceremony of getting married and everything with Rico and whatnot. Well, they don't go through with it. They get to the very end.
Hold on. So even before that, for those of you like don't know, they became a tag team. They were like just put together because they had been in tag teams before. Chuck Palumbo just came off the WCW Alliance storyline and stuff. So like throughout the entire tag team tenure, they had this guy Rico who was their PR guy / like makeup artist or whatever, and they would always allude to being gay lovers, but not actually do anything in the ring. But they would do very strange poses and get so close, like borderline uncomfortable for obviously homophobes and stuff. I loved it. I thought it was one of the funniest things in the world. Even like after everything happened, some controversy, but I think that was all bullshit anyway. But no, it was really well done up until this commitment ceremony. It wasn't even a wedding. It was a commitment ceremony.
Yeah, 2002 for you.
Yes.
Different times. So they have the commitment ceremony. There's this old man just letting them, get married. They get to the very end, and neither of them are pulling the trigger. And at the very end, they both balk, and they're just like, "Oh no, it was a publicity stunt.
Yeah,
it was a publicity stunt. We're not gay. We're not doing this." Da 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 da. And then the old man, I forget the line he says, something with 3 minutes. I'm sure. Starts taking off his mask, and it's Eric Bischoff. Looked nothing like Bischoff. I fell for hook, line, and sinker.
It was even perfect. The voice. I would never have told.
Great. And a 3-minute warning came out, Rosie and Jamal, and they just destroyed Chuck and Billy. And I think at that point they were from Raw.
Mm-hmm.
And this was like the beginning of the brand wars. So it was like Raw versus SmackDown.
Yeah, it's probably for like a Survivor Series thing or something. Who knows?
Maybe, yeah.
But no, that was one of the best. Great. I loved it.
Love it. Yep.
And then I would say my last, since we're just gonna do top 3, my last top 3 best wedding was Lita Edge. I really liked that wedding. I thought it was a great build-up for it. That whole heat with Matt Hardy obviously just led the way for that huge run for Lita and Edge. And even they had like the live sex thing the next week, which was going to be hilarious. They built that up so well, and they were both like really great heels and getting that good heat from it. So I really liked that wedding a lot.
We can't forget the best moment from that when Kane comes out of the ring.
Yes.
And Kane comes out from under the ring and grabs Lita to pull him down.
That was fantastic.
Because she married Kane a year before that.
Yep.
And then that was...
that's right. Lita's another one that's in...
That was when the classic Gene Snitsky came from the Kane and Lita wedding. It wasn't his fault.
Gene Snitsky punted a fake baby on TV once. That was wild.
He caused Lita's miscarriage.
That was wild.
Although it wasn't his fault. That's a whole other can of worms. We won't go there.
Oh, man. And then my next worst one... I doubt you watched this because you weren't a big WCW guy, but Stacy Keibler and David Flair got married, I believe, in 2001, and this was the wonderful Vince Russo era where he was trying to get kind of like Jerry Springer kind of TV. So there was this whole storyline run that Stacy Keibler was pregnant, and they were doing the wedding, and then she's like, "I can't do it because you're not the dad." And then David Flair went on a crazy rampage as he thought Eric Bischoff was the father for some reason. So it was this huge thing where he was trying to figure out who the dad was. And then never found out who the dad was. They just dropped the goddamn angle. So never ever knew who Stacy Keibler's fucking real father, baby daddy was. Well, she never had the kid, I guess, also, which is also strange.
He could be out there.
He could be out there. It could have been a secret birth. I have no idea.
Could have been spiked up.
But the whole fucking angle got dropped after all that. It was one of the worst weddings I've ever seen in my life. Even the production standpoint, it was so thrown together, and they were really just relying on the crowd too much to boo. And when the crowd was just confused, it fell even flatter than like what you can imagine. So
Okay.
yeah, if anyone was a WCW fan or fan back then, and you remember the David Flair Stacy Cleaver wedding, I am sorry because that
Yeah,
was awful.
I missed that one. Sounds like it's probably for the best
Oh
though.
my god! If you just want to watch some bad TV for a little bit, go on like whatever YouTube or whatever and try to look it up.
Alright,
It's pretty bad.
we'll see. That's 2 for you, right? You did 2 each, I think. Yeah.
I did two, yeah, technically 3 because we agreed on 2 of the 3 of mine,
Okay.
and then worse, I have one more, but we'll see which you say for your last 2.
Okay. So the one I want to put on here for sure. I want to talk about Karen Jarrett and Jeff Jarrett.
Is that your worst?
Yeah, it's among the worst.
I would hope so.
Karen Jarrett and Jeff Jarrett. Hold on, we have Mrs. Melting Pad first wrote. We randomly watched that episode of WCW not long ago.
Yes. Oh my god. I'm sorry you did, but yeah, you know exactly what that was such a terrible one.
Hopefully that wasn't the reason. But unless you're into that, I mean, some
Hey.
people want to watch Crash and Burns. But yeah,
They're
Karen
entertaining.
and Jeff Jarrett in 2011. I mean, at this point, if my memory serves me right, like Karen and Kurt were already split for like 3 years already. So like they were already like
Yeah, it's very awful.
Karen and Jeff were already with each other, and they did a stipulation between Kurt and Jeff where if Kurt lost, he had to walk Karen down the aisle
Oh yeah.
to watch
Oh,
the ceremony
yeah.
right there with Jeff. And then they did the ceremony, and he just stands there and watches it as they make out and everything. Then they leave, and then once they leave, then Kurt decides to destroy the whole like whole set and the ring setup. It was just so mean spirited, and obviously it just led to way more gross, disgusting stuff. with
Yeah, that
Kurt
was
and that whole feud.
So,
So
I hated that whole angle. I hated the whole feud over that. That was one of the worst.
yeah, so that one sucks. That one was definitely one of my worst.
And what's your last best?
My last best, I'm gonna throw in there Stephanie and Taker.
Oh, good. Okay.
Um,
Yes. Thank God you said that.
Stephanie and Taker, when he had her on the symbol, not the cross, but on the symbol,
That was.
and he was gonna sacrifice her to make her his dark bride. For me, that was like my first like 6 months watching wrestling.
Oh, really?
So
That's awesome.
So at that point, I was still like brand new, hooked on everything. Like I said before, everything was still real.
yeah,
I
for
was just-
sure.
so like Austin coming out like to help Vince like save his daughter. That was her first time, I believe, on TV too. So like
Yeah, she was a baby. Like
Yeah.
she was so young and innocent back then. No, I remember being terrified. I was watching that, and I was a kid too. I was watching that. I was just like, "Oh my god! Oh my! Like, how are they gonna save her?" And then
they
Austin
carried
came
her
out. I was just
out.
like, "Ah!"
I love that whole bit for me because that was before the higher power. Like I think like a month before.
Oh,
or something
thank
like
God.
that. Actually,
Higher powers,
yeah, like 2 months.
Yeah,
before.
that had to be because that's what kind of set off the chain of events to figure out like who the higher power was in a sense.
Yeah. So that would be my last best right there. I
Yeah.
have one more worst after, but you can go.
And then no, my last worst was surprisingly, or not surprisingly, because even back then I kind of cringed. Was the whole Triple H Stephanie McMahon wedding, the first wedding when he drugged her, and just watching that whole thing in my head, even as a little child, I was like, doesn't that lady have to like visibly watch her say yes? Like, not even like it's a woman's voice, just like yes, I accept. I'm like, that's not legal. Like you can't do that.
Look at little Danny understanding consent
Right.
in 1999.
Right, that's what I was saying. I was just like, that
Look at
doesn't make
you.
any sense. This is stupid.
Yeah, and it's funny. One of the things I didn't remember from that segment when I was reading up about weddings and stuff before this episode, I forgot that Vince told Triple H and DX if any of them interfered or ruined that wedding, he was gonna fire all of them,
Oh yeah.
and he didn't.
Because he was so stunned that his daughter married Triple H.
But like, that's pretty much the worst thing you can do to ruin the wedding. Like he should have like the next week at least been like, all right, yeah, and I said you guys are fired, so you're fired. He just let him chill after that.
Yeah.
So like, yeah.
No,
I didn't remember
was,
that.
That
But
whole thing was really, really bad. So for a second when you said Stephanie McMahon before, I was like, please don't say this is the one I thought we might argue.
no,
over.
it's iconic, but it's definitely not one of the best
That's
ones.
hilarious.
But some people would argue it's one of the best. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I don't think so.
What do you guys think of
Did
the
you
show?
guys like that? Please let us know. If you did, just tell us why. I don't care.
And if you're watching and you're new here, please be sure to hit that follow button down below because we are at 42 out of 50 followers. That will help us in many ways and also help you to get more features. It helps us be presented in a better spot on Twitch. Helps us, gives you guys more emotes to use while in chat, hanging out with us. Plus, that also gives you the option to subscribe to us, which will give us money to be able to do more for you. So definitely hit it below. We really appreciate it if you're watching. Thank you.
Danhausen money, please.
Yeah, money, please. And
that would be another one.
We can get Danhausen. Good friend of the show. Halloween's coming up. We'll get him. My last one is pretty obscure. I don't think anyone's really going to know it because no one probably watched during this time. You kind of mentioned it before. It's from Impact in 2020.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that.
3 years ago, it was Rosemary and Johnny Bravo got married. And for those that don't watch, Johnny Bravo was a referee at that point. Just being a referee. Started to become like a character, get segments and stuff like that. Rosemary is kind of like a dark, gothic, kind of like, black and white face paint, mischievous kind of character. Think like kind of like Daphne, but not.
I was gonna say like Daphne a little bit.
Yeah, it's kind of in that wheelhouse.
Daphne ripoff.
So the two of them were getting married. It was in October, so it was around Halloween. Everybody dressed up in random like Halloween costumes. Somebody was a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Somebody was dressed up like as a freaking like a member of Kiss.
Obvious
like,
setup.
All these costumes, all dressed up with masks and different things. They're in the ring again. 2020 October, COVID, no fans. So Impact's doing whatever the hell they want at this point to see what sticks to the wall. And right before they both say "I do," the lights go out. You hear a gunshot. Lights come back up. Johnny Bravo is lying dead in the ring, covered in blood. Tommy Dreamer gets down on both knees, grabs Johnny Bravo, and just goes, "No!" And they end Impact.
Oh my god.
So that was that, yeah.
I have to see that.
And
that's
so,
so bad. I have to watch that.
From there, it turns into like a...
What year was that again?
2020. October 2020. Just happened.
I gotta watch that.
So now, if I remember correctly, from there, it turned into a huge whodunit.
Oh my god.
Where Tommy Dreamer started walking around with a Sherlock hat and a magnifying glass, and he was interviewing everybody and investigating, trying to figure out who did this, who killed Johnny Bravo. And of course, eventually they retconned it and said they didn't kill him. He just got shot. He's in the hospital. Whatever. But they, and eventually, I think by like January, they finally revealed that it was Taya Valkyrie that was doing it. Excuse me. She like framed somebody, and the reason she was doing it was to protect Taya, to protect Rosemary from Johnny.
That's crazy.
Because Johnny used to be her manager, and it was just. And the best part is there was no really follow up with it because that was Taya's like exit from Impact to go to NXT.
Oh man, that's
so yeah, that one's
so bad,
and it led to so much awful content on Impact. I mean, yeah, you laughed, but it was bad.
That's really bad.
So, yeah, those are the end of my weddings. I think that was it, right?
Yeah. No, I can't do any more after that. I'm glad we ended on that one.
Who is the worst couple you could ship together for a wedding? I guess out of wrestlers. I can think of worse. I can think of worse.
No, I would assume wrestlers. Current. I'm gonna say current or current.
Santino and Santina. Don't want them together. Bad news.
Oh, you know what wedding we should have seen? Luna Vachon and Goldust. That would have been the scariest. China with Hornswoggle married by Vicky Guerrero. Oh, so you just don't want me seeing the segment? That's fine. You should have just said that.
That would have happened too. If the years lined up right and China was around a little longer.
That's terrifying.
All right, it would have been Beth Phoenix or something. All right. Yeah.
So moving on from the wedding talk, but sticking with the reason we're talking about the wedding, let's go to where's Matt at? Because he's not here.
Matt, are you in chat? Where's Matt at?
Is Matt in chat?
I don't know.
All right, so for those of you who are new to the Twitch, usually this is the segment because Matt is, out of the three of us, watches the least amount of wrestling, pretty much just predominantly AEW, and I believe even that is just Dynamite and Collision. I don't know if you watch Rampage.
He's still doing Rampage.
Okay, he's still doing
He
Rampage.
was close, but he's still doing it.
So pretty much all AEW, no WWE, but he's been watching like videos, so he's been catching up a little bit. So we use this as our recap segment. Last time we went way too long though. So let's try to keep this a little more recappy and not segment by segment.
So I tried to catch up Matt on Collision this past Saturday.
At the wedding.
At the wedding.
Nice.
During the reception,
Nice.
I put Collision up on my phone. We were on the dance floor.
Yeah,
and he was just wrapping up his first dance, and I was like, Matt, come here. So I was trying to show him Dalton Castle versus Jay White, but he was just like, whatever. Oh, whatever. I tried, but no, I liked Collision. It felt they tried a lot of new like character segments, like a lot of like they all felt different. Like I liked the LFI thing they were doing with Roosh. What else was there? I liked.
I think the only problem with Collision was that they tried too much new stuff and forgot that they're trying to make Collision like also a big show, so they needed a little more like home run segments in a sense.
Yeah, well, I think
the opening segment was great. The Samoa Joe Punk.
Oh yeah,
like
Golden Vampire.
I think that was like that's an awesome throwback.
Golden Vampire's got a good future. I think Tony Khan should sign the Golden Vampire to a Ring of Honor contract at the very least.
But then I think the whole problem with AEW, both Dynamite and Collision, we were talking about, is just that the kind of lack of build for All Out because of All In, and then we don't know what's happening with All Out, which is just 2 weeks away, which is crazy that we can't even do predictions for All Out because we have no idea. Like even next week, we probably won't be able to do predictions. The show will be Saturday, and I don't know how much we were saying. I don't know how much of the card.
Show's on Sunday.
Show's on Sunday.
But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how things go. I mean, I think they're getting everything set up and in motion. Some stuff they'll probably. I would like to think they'll at least announce another match.
They have to on this week. They have to
because they're taping Dynamite and Collision this week, both on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Same night, same arena. So by Wednesday, we should know everything.
But right now, we only have Darby and Luchasaurus. Like they got, Luchasaurus. So they got to build.
Well, did you watch Collision or not yet?
I didn't. Yeah, I did.
Well, they also added Miro and Powerhouse Hobbs.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I forgot about that.
It's official. So they're doing that one too.
But you see, even that one, that's like, I feel like that's kind of just like a pushed feud out of nowhere. It wasn't like I kind of like the build, but I wish there was more of a build for it.
Yeah, well, it's
but
in the early stages.
Gave Miro something. It's about time.
Yeah.
SmackDown. Let's start with that. I don't know why.
All right. Well, before we get off of it, Christian and Darby was awesome.
Christian and Darby.
That was my match of the week last week.
Oh, really?
Yeah, loved it.
That's a good one.
Awesome. SmackDown.
And wait, hold on. Dynamite at all? Any?
Well, I figured we were gonna work backwards.
But okay, we'll do that.
I don't know.
I thought we covered AEW as a whole. We're still learning, guys. My apologies. SmackDown. SmackDown easy. Rey Mysterio with the U.S. title last week won it, and this week they did the segment with him and Santos. That's going to be like interesting, but I'm just surprised they gave Rey the belt. We didn't really talk about it, obviously. And then over this Bloodline stuff, we talked about the SummerSlam match. Like if they had done what I predicted, which was crazy because I said that as like kind of a joke that Jimmy would come back and betray him. Once they did that, we were both just like, I hate this. I just hate it. There's no reason for it anymore. It doesn't make sense. So every time they just bring up Bloodline stuff, I used to like tune in, and now I just don't even care. It's pretty awful.
Yeah. By the way, just to throw it out there again, anyone listening, tuning in, if you watched it too, anything, jump in with us. We're here to chat and talk with you. So if you see anything you liked about SmackDown or Collision or Dynamite, throw it in the chat. Let us know. We'll definitely jump on it and talk about it. So, but yeah, I mean, I already talked about the Bloodline stuff. I already kind of felt whatever on that. It was at a minimum this week, which was really good.
Luckily, it's just backstage stuff.
Edge and Sheamus was good. I think by the end, it got there. Like, it was good the whole way through, but I think about halfway in, I was kind of just like, it's good, but it's not, like, great. Even though
I don't think they need to go, like, 30 almost they went? They pretty much did, like,
almost,
the last...
Almost 30, yeah.
I don't think they need to go that long. But, no, I thought the match was good. I thought it's exactly what they need to do for Edge. Mm-hmm. And I think him winning kind of shows that he's not done with them. I wouldn't I don't know.
Well, that was his last match. That was his last contracted match, and his contract doesn't end until the end of September. So he's definitely not showing up at All In or All Out or Grand Slam. I don't think he's coming at all.
Neither do I.
But I don't think he's going back to WWE anytime soon. My gut thinks that
ROH.
No. My gut says he has one more match at Mania 40, and that's it.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I don't think I think he's just kind of done. Like his body has been getting beat up ever since his like initial return and stuff. And I think he's just kind of over it. And good for him. What a career, man. Any chance I get to see Edge, I'll take. So.
Yeah. Well, he even said post show. He's like, I definitely don't have one more calendar year.
No.
So like, okay, so he's not making it to like that means the absolute latest they'll go is next year's SummerSlam.
Yeah.
And at that point, I feel he's just gonna retire at Mania. Although
Yeah,
he did
might
start at
as well.
SummerSlam, I think, or no, 2 months before that. He started in June. Yeah, he started in June. We talked about that because he was the 25-year
Oh
anniversary.
yeah, it was a little
It
off.
was 25 years and 2-month anniversary
Yeah.
technically, but yeah,
Alrighty. Dynamite.
Dynamite.
Dynamite. I kind of forgot about. Like I watched it, but I can't really tell you like significant segments from it.
I know what you want here. I know what you want. You want me to talk first about it? That match.
Which one?
You know which one.
Oh, wait, that was this past week.
Okay.
That's okay. No, that explains why I forgot about it.
So
no, I'll start it off. I don't care.
No.
That was the worst goddamn fucking match I've ever seen in my life.
No, so okay, so here we go. So I'm gonna dive into this. So this is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre death match. For the Texas
That had a
Chainsaw Massacre
championship.
Deathmatch
It
Championship.
had a championship. That's what made me even more upset.
I knew from the second they talked about this match on Rampage, it was going to be a shit show. It was going to be awful. Absolute dog shit.
Awful.
And I just need to say, like, I almost turned off Dynamite. Almost turned it off. I was checked out for the last half hour. I probably should have stopped. Just awful. So bad. And, like, what we got here? Hold on. Held a message for a reason. Aggression. Allow the post.
Allow the post, producer.
Let it through, mod.
Producer, allow it. It's all right.
Hold on.
Keverlash, we're letting your post go
I think
through.
you just
Hold on
gotta
one
click.
second.
I think you just gotta click allow.
He's not on. He's
Right
gotta go on.
There you go. We let it through.
We're good.
Hopefully
It's
you can
there.
see it. Jeff Jarrett needs to fuck off. Awful. Honestly, I was close. Like, I don't know how deep I would have played it or been into it. I considered downloading Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the game, because it's on Xbox Game Pass, to try it. Honest to God, after that match, I am going on my way not to download it, not to play it at all. And I want them to know that. They lost a customer of potentially using it,
Not just one.
downloading it, playing. I'm not touching that fucking game.
Definitely not just one customer. That was awful. That was one of the worst matches. The fake blood right from the beginning. Just once they did that, I was like, all right, cool. You're gonna try to pretend this is a gory blood match when no one's gonna be bleeding. Fantastic. They had stupid Satnam Singh dress up in those stupid overalls to like sell. Like,
Hold on, Killer Tomato. Have you watched the Texas Chainsaw Massacre
of
death
course
match?
he has not.
Ooh,
Look how upset you're making him.
I'm all gassy.
Look
You
how
got
upset
me
you're
all messed
making him.
up.
All right.
Listen, watch that match. If you still feel that way after watching that match, you know what? No, you're gonna love it.
As I say, he's gonna love it.
Knowing
It's
you,
terrible.
you're gonna love the match. But either way,
Other than that, I do believe Dynamite was pretty decent. The women's match was good. The tag team match at the end was good. I will right now to prove you wrong.
maybe wait like an hour. Finish the stream first. Don't leave.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
he didn't mean right now. He was just kidding. And then the opening with Jericho, the set up the Ospreay match, that was really good. I really thought that there was gonna be something else under there. I didn't think it was gonna be a stupid like painting of Jericho with his head cut off, and I thought that was like a good twist. That Don Callis didn't even want him, and he just was doing it. Just like I thought that was really interesting. So I thought overall it was good. Just that goddamn match just made me literally blank out an entire episode, which is so sad.
Yeah,
It was so sad.
I suppressed it. It got me so mad. And honestly, for that, I need to take this time to give that match, that segment, everybody involved in it, my first ever Sharpshooter edition of a kick and a stunner. Everything. Put it down to the ground. Put it in a body bag. Never to be seen again. Fuck all of it. Moving on. Next segment. I don't want to talk anymore about it.
All right. Oh, we're just not going to talk about Raw?
Not talking about Raw.
All right. See you,
Moving on.
Raw. Next question. All right. So now we need a little fan interaction. First one to give us a name of any wrestler. Old, current, WCW, WWE. Whoa. Just need to refocus.
Is that my
us.
fault?
Might have been because of the stunner. You
my
stunnered
stunner. I took the camera. Well, cameraman.
That's how mad you were.
Cameraman
So
probably
we
Jeff
apologize
Jarrett
for
fan,
that.
So.
That was cool. Just how you refocused it though. So yes, we need someone to give us the name of a wrestler for our next segment, which is 5 questions, and we're gonna answer 5 questions that we have about whatever wrestler you guys give us. Hopefully, someone we know, because it would be a little awkward if it's someone we don't. But it could be any promotion, any era, whatever you like. First person in the chat to give us this name.
Oh,
and
no.
We have Eugene. Damn it.
All right, there it is. Eugene works.
Eugene.
All right.
Oh my God.
So, just to give a little bit more context now. This segment.
Killer Tomato, I'm upset that we told you to subscribe.
No, I like that pick. So this segment, what we're gonna be doing, like Danny was kind of saying, is every week we're gonna try and do it, and it's gonna be the same 5 questions every week regarding whatever wrestler that is that you guys pick in the chat. So,
I feel like him right now. I just did like that ear thing by accident. All right, first question of the 5 for Eugene. For those of you who don't know who Eugene is, really quick. He was back in what years would you say?
I'm doing Eugene.
I know you're doing Eugene.
I feel like he was like 04, 05. I don't think he was before that.
All right, so around that era, he was. I don't even know what the PC word to say it now is because we're in 2023.
Mentally handicapped.
It is mentally handicapped. All right, so he was a mentally handicapped wrestler.
He was special.
And just every week he would come out and they would kind of make fun of it a little bit and play off it, and then when he would get mad, he would just become this, like, you know, really strong wrestler, and he would just start kicking ass. It was very strange. It was a very you kind of know what they were trying to imply with the strength. I'm just not going to say it, obviously, but it was back in 2004.
That
so
freaky strength.
That freaky strength, if you know what I'm trying to imply. So, first question is, do you like them? So did you like this character, Eugene, back in 2004, 2005? I will admit, I did.
Wait, did we like them at the time, or do we like them now?
Oh, do I?
I think it should.
I have to say no.
I think it should just be, do you like them now? Like,
okay.
Like right now. We shouldn't do like back then. Like,
fair. So then,
like
no, I don't like them now. That was a terrible character.
I liked it. I liked Eugene. I still like Eugene. I thought it was a fun character. Obviously, yes, whatever with the times. But he was entertaining. It was funny. It was fun.
It was a very entertaining character. I did watch every segment. Like every time he was on TV, I did watch.
So I gotta say yes. I did like Eugene. I do like Eugene.
What was his best match?
Jesus.
I would have to, when he won the tag team championships, right? With William Regal?
I was gonna say, was it Regal?
And they beat, I believe, La Resistance. If I'm correct on all that, let me check. Eugene first.
See, for me, I can't remember too many of his matches, but if I had to pick one, the one that comes to mind is I'm pretty sure he fought Triple H once. I think they did Eugene versus Triple H once, and I think that one, Triple H kind of leaned into it and really went ham, like, with the whole thing, which made it a little bit more entertaining. So I'd probably say Eugene versus Triple H. It's probably on a Raw or something.
Interesting. Yeah, so that was correct. It was with William Regal against La Resistance. That was his only championship.
One too many, but
one too many is very fair.
Yeah. The next one is best move. I mean, I have to go with the Rock Bottom.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the
Rock Bottom was, the way he did it was just kind of classic. I'm not
best
gonna lie.
move. I mean, basically all of his moves were his favorite wrestlers' moves, so that one's kind of an easy one here. But yeah, I have to go with the one he did the Rock Bottom. Just
because he also of all the moves he kind of copied, he did that one the best with like the whole like and then dropping it down. They love seeing your face. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
And then
what's a dream match for Eugene?
What's our dream match for Eugene? Ooh, gotta put on the Booker's cap here. See what we're gonna go with.
I got one.
I got mine.
Okay.
You wanna go first or me to go?
I'll go first. I want a triple threat match with him, Santino Marella, and R-Truth. It'll be a big... What? Oh, you're going to go real?
You want all comedy? I mean, that's real.
Yes, I'm going to go all comedy because that would be a hilarious match.
Okay. I'm going to go a different way with it. Stay with me, chat. Now.
Yeah, you're booing mine and you're telling them to stay with you before you even go.
Give me Eugene versus MJF.
Oh my God. Why?
Just for the back and forth. The back and forth. Oh, MJF. Because you can almost do MJF and Eugene when you do MJF.
You mean for the promos?
I mean, well, it'd be a match eventually. But thinking of the story, like leading up to it, like you can almost do what they're doing now with Cole, but with Eugene, where they become best friends. MJF has that mental whatever thing going on with him. His
Oh my
OC.
God.
What does MJF have?
I thought it was ADHD.
Yeah, he's got the ADHD. They can play with that ADHD and Eugene.
That would be fucking hilarious.
So yeah, give me Eugene versus MJF.
I'm good with that.
That's my dream.
Literally
match.
based on the promos, I'm good with that.
Versus Booger.
Did he mean
Bastion Booger?
Booger, the Boogeyman?
No, isn't there a wrestler called the Bastion Booger?
Oh yeah.
Bastion,
He was a really fat guy, the hairy guy that had the weird I don't even know what that's called. Anyway,
the last question is:
have you seen them live?
I have.
Bingo. That who he was talking about. Great. Thank you for that throwback. Now I have a terrible image in my head. I have not seen them live.
Really? Yeah, I saw him live it was either a Raw or a Raw House show. I forget which one it could have been, but definitely saw him at one of those. I couldn't tell you the match he had, but he was there.
All right.
Yeah, that's 5 questions. Thank you.
So we'll do that every week. Hopefully next week it'll be someone I know a little better. But yeah, this brings us to our producer giving us our Say Something Nice. For those of you who are first time here, we gave our producer a list of wrestlers that we generally probably just don't like or weren't fans of. And he randomly picks one every segment, or every week, I'm sorry. And we have to say something nice, genuinely nice about them. Not like...
No matter who they are.
No matter who they are.
Like, even if it's Leatherface, which, by the way, fucking Leatherface came out. All right, do it. Pick the fucking name. Let's go. Oh, God damn it.
Oh, that might have been... You might have rather Leatherface. Eva Marie. Oh, boy.
Shit.
That's a good one. That's a good one, both of who we gave him and him randomly choosing them. Eva Marie.
Can I just fall back and not have to do it?
You gotta do it.
Break my neck. Yeah, no way.
Kevin said no way.
Hey, if anyone in the chat wants to say something nice.
I'm racking my brain right now.
If anybody in the chat wants to say something nice about Eva Marie, by all means.
Eva Marie.
Oh, there we go. Killer, solid collarbones. That's my answer.
You can't copy.
I take killer tomatoes.
You can't copy it.
She has solid collarbones.
Has to be original.
She certainly has lips. There you go. Does that count? No.
I know she won a championship. I just can't. I can't figure out what championship she.
She won the 24/7, if anything. I don't think she ever won the women's.
Really?
She definitely didn't win the women's title. She was released. That's not nice.
That's not a nice thing to say.
That's not nice. Mod, can we block Kevin last for 5 minutes? This is where we say something nice.
Oh my god!
I cannot stop burping all
yeah,
stream.
really.
My
just
bad.
Segment after segment's just gotten you really upset, man.
It's rough. I'm all bloated.
No, she didn't win a championship. I thought for some reason she had like a short reign. Damn, this is a really hard one.
All right, so I got something.
Go ahead.
So for those of you out there that don't know, I was an avid Total Divas watcher. Watched every episode of Total Divas. Was a huge fan.
Of course you did.
For the shit show that it was. It was entertaining as hell. And she was on it. And honestly, watching her like on that show, there were times where you felt like she was putting it on, but you could see enough of the real her coming through with her and her parents and her boyfriend, fiance, husband at the time. And it seems like she's a legit nice person who's pretty grounded in her life. So, while I may not like what she does on TV, she seems like a nice person. So her implant popped. Maybe that's what you were thinking of. For what
that's definitely what I was thinking of.
Yeah. She has very nice long hair. Come, those are extensions. Get out of here.
No, what I was thinking of was her NXT run. I thought legitimately that she was going to have a decent run the way they were like kind of building her up with William Regal and then making her prove the match. And I thought her first match back to NXT was a decent one for her because I remember how, she was in the ring. So I liked her first like NXT match. And then I was a little disappointed that she didn't have more of a run because I was just wanted to see if they could make a good heel character out of her. So first NXT match back was good. That's the best I can think of.
Who'd she fight? I legit don't know.
I think it was like some job. I don't think it was anyone big.
Oh, well, it probably didn't even go more than 5 minutes. So
probably not.
You can't mess up too much in 3.5 minutes.
Hey, man. You said I had to say something nice. All right, I did.
We all do.
Get out of here.
We all do.
All right.
Including all of you.
Get that picture off
Including
here.
all of you. Do better in chat next time.
Oof.
Say something nice.
Yeah, that was a rough one. That was the hardest one so far.
I like that background picture. What was that?
That was the hardest one so far.
Um,
All right. And that brings us to our last segment, which I'm really excited about, which is all-in predictions, because all-in, I don't know, contrary to some stuff I've seen online, I think it's been a great build, and I think it's going to be a hell of a show, and I really can't wait for all-in. 9 matches, including one on the 0 hour. So let's get right into it. You want to start, I guess, 0 hour, and then what we assume will be kind of like leading up to it? I don't know.
Sure. Yeah, we can go in whatever order. So I'm going to preface it just with saying is while we will make predictions here on the show, for the sake of our records or anything like that, I think it would be best if any matches that are added between now and showtime, since the show, we will make them between ourselves and count them. And I think even if we want to make a change based on any changes in story, we should do the same thing, especially with the Stadium Stampede.
Okay.
I think knowing which 3 are in there could change our picks now.
That's
so we
fair.
will share with all of you what does change between now and then. But for now, we will still make picks. Odds are they will stay in place just because there's a whole week to go until we get there.
That's fair.
So
And we do have Matt's picks, correct?
Yeah, shit.
All right, cool.
I got to bring those up.
Just making sure. So we have Matt's picks, so we all will still have our 3 picks and keep our record even. I believe
I gotta find. There we go.
you sent me the records last time.
Yeah, so the records right now, me and Danny are both tied at 7-1, and Matt has a record of 4-4. That was only from SummerSlam. So right now it's still early on. There's no end date at this. We're just doing it forever. We'll probably reset in the new year.
I wonder when we're finally. Me and you were gonna actually pick different stuff because we're pretty.
I'm sure we will.
We're pretty like-minded a lot of that stuff.
Yeah. So let's start with the 0 hour. The first match that'll happen is MJF and Adam Cole versus Aussie Open for the Ring of Honor tag team titles.
If you're gonna give one tag team their tag team name, you can give the other one and show them the equal amount of respect. So it's Better Than You, Bebe versus Aussie Open for the ROH tag team titles. Thank you.
It's MJF and Adam Cole.
That's rude. That's disrespectful.
Either way, do you want to do this where Matt's just always the second one, and we'll just flip back and forth between you and me first?
Makes sense. I'll start it off then.
Sure.
I'm going to pick Aussie Open as much as I would love for MJF and Adam Cole to win it, and then that be a storyline for the main event. I just don't think they're going to put the ROH titles on them. I think they would have done that with the AEW titles to kind of make that more of a thing. So I don't think they're going to win. And I think their loss is obviously going to play an impact into the main event.
Okay, so Matt has MJF and Adam Cole.
Of course he does.
Matt has MJF and Adam Cole winning the 0 hour.
Oh, man.
New Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions going into the pay-per-view.
That's hilarious.
And I have Aussie Open as well. Same reasons as Danny said. I just don't think they're going to pull that trigger. I think it's going to be just them playing off of the miscommunication to go into the main event.
I agree. What match do you think is going to be next? You pick the next one. We'll go back and forth with that also.
I mean, I'm just going to work down from the list I have
go
on mine. So the next one is FTR versus the Young Bucks.
Ooh. This one, I don't know.
For the AEW
I'm excited
World Tag Team titles.
So
I am going with FTR. I'm going with FTR right now. That one is one of my 2 or 3 that I'm flip-flopping on. I'm going with FTR, though, because this is the third in the trilogy. The first one, the Bucks won and beat FTR to win the tag team titles. Second one, FTR won, but I don't think any belts were on the line. So I just feel like I keep thinking about how the Bucks won the belts from the first match. I feel like FTR is going to retain this time around. Only thing that's holding me up is that it is all in, and this is the Elite 5-year celebration, and they probably want to do a title change in Wembley. So I might flip on it, but for right now, I'm going with FTR. And Matt also has FTR.
Interesting. So this will be the first time I don't vote the same as you because I just feel like the Bucks they haven't really been, showcased as much, and I think they're finally gonna put the tag team titles on them, especially if they're gonna try to do this little trios tag team, possibly with FTR and CM Punk a little bit, because that's gonna be like a big draw. So I think we might see a change of hands with the Bucks.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. So
that's gonna be interesting.
We'll see how the rest of the week goes, but for right now, I'm sticking with them. If I get cold feet, I get cold feet. We'll see. But
All right. Next one I got up, Stadium Stampede. So we got the Best Friends and Eddie Kingston and Death Triangle, or 2/3 of Death Triangle. I don't know why they keep calling them Death Triangle. Why can't they just go back to calling them Lucha Bros? But
no,
whatever.
they are calling them Lucha Bros here.
They are? Okay.
Yeah.
So Lucha Brothers, Eddie Kingston, and Best Friends versus the Blackpool Combat Club and 3 mystery partners.
Yeah, and by the way, anybody listening along in chat, if you have any predictions or any thoughts on these matches as we talk about them, let us know.
Or if you think you know who the mystery partners are, because that's what's going to really sway my thinking. Because we were talking a little bit about it, and I know you have more prediction than I probably do. If you want to explain.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't think they're gonna tell us who the 3 people are until
Really?
tonight. I don't think they're gonna tell us at all. Although my first guess was like I was thinking simple, just Butcher Blade and Kip Sabian, but for pay-per-view I think they want to go bigger, so I think it's gonna be like Suzuki and Lance Archer and stuff like that. But like Ishii, get people like that on the match, but I don't know. So for now I'm going. Wait, is it you first or me first here?
Me first.
Yeah.
So me first. I am going with Oh, this is another one I wasn't really sure because it really depends on the mystery partners, but I think I'm gonna go with Eddie Kingston, Best Friends, and Lucha Bros. They just beat them in the parking lot brawl, and even with the mystery partners, you probably want to put OC and a return Eddie Kingston. He seems like they're gonna try to push him a little bit, so you might want to put them on top. Plus, they kind of had to get the revenge for Pac, so I'm gonna go with Best Friends team.
Okay, so we have Salvato has the Bullet Club and Mystery People.
But you mean Blackpool Combat Club?
What did I say? Bullet Club. Yeah, Blackpool Combat Club. Oh, I'm wearing the shirt too.
It's okay, man. It happens.
He has the Blackpool Combat Club. Jesus Christ! All right, I'm drunk. I drank way too much before this show. I'm sorry.
You still hungover from the wedding?
Yeah. And yeah, this is one of the 3 that I'm still flip-flopping on, but for right now, I have Blackpool Combat Club as well.
Oh, man.
But again, for me, it's the mystery people and seeing how it pans out over the next week or so, because knowing who's in there could change it.
Yeah, unless the 3 partners are ones that I'm shocked about, I don't see myself changing it, but if they come up with 3 crazy partners, I might have to, so we'll see who those partners are.
Yeah. Plus, there's also rumors of Santana and Ortiz being the 2 of the 3.
It's
like they're thinking Santana, Ortiz, and Garcia, and if it's those 3,
I'm totally going with Blackpool.
I'm probably sticking with what I got.
Yeah, I'm changing my vote for sure. Yeah. But and also the reason I think even more of that is because Ringside News, who I hate following, reported that Santana and Ortiz are not going to get back together. So the more they report shit that isn't going to happen, the more I believe it's going to happen.
Yeah, but I could have swore months ago it came out that they were good now. So
that's what I'm saying. That's why I don't believe it.
Whatever.
All right, what match you got next?
All right, the women's match. 4-way, Hikaru Shida defending against Toni Storm, Saraya, and Dr. Britt Baker, DM Dummy.
You go first.
Yeah, I go first. So this is the last of the 3 that I'm iffy on. From here on out, I'm going to be confident with my picks. But this one, as of right now, I have Shida. Right. I have Shida retaining. In my mind, it's between Shida and Britt. I don't think Tony's getting it back here. And as much as Saraya is like the hometown pop or whatever, I just don't think it's going to happen. I always feel like they're getting Tony ready for some sort of split or dissension with his new character. So for me, it's between Shida and Britt. I'm going with Shida. And Matt has Saraya.
Wow, interesting. I agree with you that it's between Britt and Shida. I do think it's going to be Britt. I think they're going to let her finish her story in a sense.
That, and I keep thinking of Hayter. Hayter's going to be there.
Yep.
Hayter's going to... I still think, like, that's why I'm definitely going to flip either the tag or the women's, because they're going to do a title change at Wembley.
I agree.
They're going to do one.
And I don't think it's going to be the main event.
So, we'll get to that. But, yeah, I think one of those 2 are going to flip.
All right.
Yeah.
Next match I got is 6-man tag team. We have the Golden Elite versus the Bullet Club. And I started with the Golden Elite. I think it's pretty obvious that we're going to have Omega go over with Ibushi and stuff, and they're gonna let that um, be a nice big pop, for the Wembley crowd.
Okay, so Salvato has Bullet Club Gold and Takeshita,
Interesting.
and I have the Golden Elite. So that one pretty straightforward.
Yeah, I think that one. Again, I'd be surprised if they put him over.
All right. Next one is Darby and Sting versus Swerve Strickland and AR Fox in a coffin match. So easy enough for me. Going Darby and Sting. They are undefeated as a tag team. Sting has never lost in AEW. It's not happening here in a coffin match at Wembley. I don't think so.
I do like how they keep calling it a coffin match, and that Darby's the master of the coffin match and not the casket match, which is great.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm going Darby and Sting. And where is it?
You better be going Darby and Sting.
Matt has picked Swerve Strickland
Jesus Christ.
and AR Fox to win the coffin match because he is a Swerve Strickland guy. So he is rolling with Swerve. And it's funny, he only wrote Swerve. He didn't even include AR Fox in his answer. So AR Fox may be turning and leaving him. But yeah.
I am also going with Sting Darby. Again, Sting just hasn't been defeated at all. So I don't think his first defeat's going to be at Wembley Stadium. That's not happening. No. So yeah, I agree with you. Cool. All right, next match, and these last three are going to be bangers, and I can't wait to fucking see him. Punk versus Joe for the Real World Championship. And I'm gonna have to go with Punk on this. I think that story has a lot left on it, and if they give it to Joe, that kind of defeats the whole purpose of the story. So I think Punk's going to retain his World Championship.
Yeah, Matt and I both have Punk as well. Cool. So that's pretty simple, and that may be our first 3 in a row sweep where we all agreed. So. It's the first one we all agreed.
I still can't believe he didn't pick Sting and Darby. That's crazy.
Yeah. Next up, we have Will Ospreay and Chris Jericho. I have Will Ospreay, and Matt also has Will Ospreay.
That's another sweep for us.
Hometown boy.
I don't see how Jericho wins this. Between the outside interference and honestly, just Ospreay is the one who should be going over in Wembley. There's just not a question.
Don't get me wrong. I can see it. I can
see
Jericho.
it, but I feel like Jericho is better than that. As a wrestling mind, I think he's better than that. Plus, that once what's his face, Don and them interfere, that just gives him more storyline, and then that sets up a Sammy Guevara match, hopefully, and stuff like that. So I think possibly, just going off the rails really quick, I think possibly at All Out, that's going to be some variation of Sammy and Jericho versus Ospreay and someone building off All In. So that would be interesting too. And our main event is the actual World Championship, the big Burberry belt. There we go.
Triple B.
The Triple B. MJF defending against Adam Cole, baby. And I think I already gave it away before. I'm going with MJF. As much as I would love to see Adam Cole win a world championship at Wembley Stadium in the biggest event, they have so much left with MJF that I don't see him losing it right now. I would love for him to, personally, but I just don't see it.
Okay. So Matt has picked Adam Cole to win the AEW World Title in Wembley Stadium, and I am going with MJF. It's not happening yet, and everyone wants it. They want him to pivot, but he's holding on to that belt at least until Full Gear at this point.
I mean, how do you not, after all this setup, have a Punk and him payoff? There's just no way. And if they make Cole a transitional championship, cool, but then I don't know. It just wouldn't really make sense. Same argument for the Punk and Joe match. It doesn't make sense for Samoa to win because then they take off the belt, and then what's the point of them having the belt? So Interesting. So we have 3 matches that we all agree across, or 2 matches?
I thought it was just 2.
2 matches we all agree across the board, which is Punk and Joe, and Ospreay and Jericho. And then everything else is 2 out of 3, except for the women's match where we all have a different women winning. You have Saraya, you have Shida, I have Britt.
Mine could change. I'm just saying.
I'm pretty sure I'm not changing. The only one I might change, like I said, would be the Stadium Stampede match,
Mhm.
depending on who the 3 teammates are. Besides that, I mean, Bucks and FTR are going to go back and forth until the day of, so I'm just going to make that Bucks statement now, and hopefully I win that. That'd be great. But yeah, I mean, this week it's definitely going to be some changes in the standings. We're definitely not going to be tied after this week, so that'll be interesting. And for all we know, half of these picks that Matt's picking
No.
might catapult him into first.
Yeah, you never know.
That'd be crazy. So hopefully you guys liked our picks. Hopefully you guys liked our predictions. Let us know if you agree or disagree. Who you think's gonna come out on top? Who you think's not? Or if you think Matt's gonna just blow past us with all these out of the park picks.
I thought you were doing like whiff it, like he was gonna whiff it.
No. He's gonna.
All right, we'll see about that.
Just crazy. Don't look at me like that. Alrighty. Please, once again, hit that follow button. Help us get to 50. We are so close. We want to bring in legitimate guests, and we might have at least 1, possibly 2. So if we can get to that number and really make this a more organized thing, we can definitely bring in that guest for you guys, and this would be a legitimate. How do I want to say it?
We've had legitimate guests on. We've had Roman Reigns and Hulk Hogan. Sorry you weren't here for one of them, and I missed the other. We've had legitimate, but we're gonna maintain our prestige image as a stream.
Yes. Other than that, for any of you who want to tell your friends about it, please let them know that the recaps will be on Twitch for a week, and then after that it moves to YouTube. So please go there and hit us a little subscribe, and you can see our videos there as well.
Call your friends now. Tell them we're live.
Well,
We should have done that an hour ago.
Yeah.
Next time.
And we will be back next week for sure. It'll still be just us 2. Hopefully you didn't miss Matt that much, and you'll come back and watch more.
Yeah, we'll do an all-in recap, and we'll talk about All Out, whatever we can talk about, what we think from the Fallout. Yeah.
All right.
Well, thanks, guys, and we'll see you next time, and maybe I get to do the intro next week.